What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. We're gonna go over 3 movements today. All right, one of them you've actually already done, so you're just gonna spend a lot of time working on flip swings. I already told you on Saturday that you're going to have to do a lot of these reps in order to really start to feel comfortable. So take one section of this triptych workout, this 3-movement workout, and just do flip swings. Don't like set yourself a time clock. Don't necessarily do them for a certain number of reps. Do them for quality. Spend 3 minutes allowing yourself to really practice the rep. Being outside really helps, not necessarily on asphalt, but on dirt is great because you're probably going to be dropping this hammer a fair bit. But let that movement really start to kind of become very natural. You shouldn't really have to think too hard about it. It should really flow very well. Highly recommend filming yourself on that one. Your other 2 movements, what we're going to do this week is we're going to work on adding together some stuff that we've already established. So taking the 360 movement that you've been working on, taking that pullover movement that you've been working on, and adding them to some lower body movements, making full workout pieces that we can link together into flows, and that's when the real fun of training with the Banff hammer starts to show up. So first of those, we're going to do some 360 lunges, and then second, we're going to do some pullover squats. So we've already done all of these pieces. We just have to find the points at which one flows into the next so that they make the most sense, right? So to start with the 360 lunge, okay, I've got my hammer here in front support. Remember, whichever hand is on top, that one, okay, that's the one that's going to dictate which way the hammer goes. So if my right hand's on top, I'm going to the left. I'm going to pull 360. Now when I return, as that motion happens, as I drop my hands down into that front support position, that's when I'm going to want to try and pull this lunge. So I'm here, coming into front support, lunging forward, all right? It doesn't really matter which leg you lunge on, and I want to encourage you, spend some time going 360s in one direction, lunge left, lunge right. But try and find the point where you naturally flow into the front support position down into the lunge, as opposed to making it very jerky, being one and then the next, one and then the next. That's probably the place where it's going to start. But again, the goal is to flow into this. So pull up to front support, being able to go, then return, then return. Okay, that's the big goal that we're looking for there, is trying to make this nice and smooth. What you're gonna find is you have to maintain a lot of body tension to get that done, and that's where the big advantage of this is. One thing I've noticed in my own training when it comes to lunges and air squats is it's very easy for me to kind of turn my brain off and not be intentional in the movement, and then I'm not paying attention to where my knee is tracking. I'm not paying attention to how low my hips are going. Adding the hammer to this means I don't get to turn my brain off, and if I don't get to turn my brain off, I have to be more intentional in the movement, and that's a big plus. For the pullover squat, again, we're looking for the same thing, starting with the hammer behind your back, pulling over into the front without having the hammer touch your back or the back of your head, and dropping directly into the squat. This is a fundamental movement. I love this movement. I use it all the time. Okay, again, we're looking for fat side of the head to be towards my body. I'm going back over the top, then we're going to pull over and sit, okay? And we're looking to be as tall in this position as possible, drop as low as your hips will allow, okay? Feet shoulder width apart. Then as I stand up, I'm gonna return that hammer to my back, okay? Again, focusing on staying nice and active through the hips and through the abdominal wall. So here's one from the side. Okay, don't be surprised if during the beginning, learning this rep, you pull over and over pull, okay? So the head goes forward and you end up losing it to the front. Just let it go, stand up, pull it back to the front support, and go again. Better to create good habits than really try and wrench that hammer back in towards your body. With all of these flow movements, what you're gonna find is there's kind of this sweet spot in the timing where as I pull over, it'll find this very particular slot where it just feels great. Anything other than that, the abnormal load of the hammer is going to make it very hard to control the hammer or very hard to control the squat. Just one more note there on the squat. Really feel like, you know, we've used this phrase armpit lemonade this whole time. Really feel like you're squeezing in nice and tight, elbows tight to the body, crushing through the lat, okay? You should feel contact from your armpit all the way down to just above the elbow with that arm against your body, sitting nice and tall, okay? Here, nice tall spine. As soon as I lose that and hunch over, this is gonna feel like a really terrible movement, and heed that, okay? This, you should feel like you could get into the position, and even though we've added load, added weight with the hammer, this should feel really good, okay? So there you go. Give yourself 3 minutes of work on each of these, okay? Let's go 4 rounds, 3 minutes of work for each of them, so it's gonna be a nice little workout. And do the reps for quality, okay? Spend 1 3-minute section just going over the right shoulder, lunging opposite legs, lunge forward and lunge back. Spend 3 minutes doing some pullover squats, trying to sink a little bit lower every time, a little bit lower every time. And then on your last 3 minutes, go back to the swings. Remember, keep the shoulders back. You should feel it in your hamstrings and your glutes. If you're feeling in your lower back, we're probably letting the hammer pull you too far forward. Probably going to take some filming of that so you can analyze it for yourself, and if you want, take some video, shoot it to me, and I can like show you where we're missing the angles. Then when you recycle, send the 360 the other direction, keep doing the same lunges. Remember, we're going for quality because we're teaching your body a new movement pattern. It's not really pertinent at this moment to be thinking about getting a ton of you know, trying to push the intensity. We're learning quality reps. I genuinely don't care how many bad reps you can do, okay? So spend some time with that one today. I hope you enjoy it. As we move towards the holidays, I want to encourage you to keep your hammer with you, okay? Your program doesn't stop just because Jesus was born. You just have to get your workout in after, before dinner and after presents, or however you want to lay that out. So yeah, enjoy. We'll see you with another video tomorrow. We're going to start applying Olympic lifting movements to the hammer and using the hammer to kind of fill in the gaps of strength that tend to happen when you're unintentional with a barbell. So for my CrossFit folks, this is one that's really gonna, you're really gonna enjoy. See you tomorrow.